What's up? Welcome back, everybody. FSN week number 4. It should be a good week. The Seahawks already secured a division win this week, Thursday night, and it is our last week of bye week. So enjoy that while it lasts, because we all know it can get a little bit tricky once those kick in. So to get things started tonight, let's look at our standings. All right, we will start on the black and blue sides of things, where in the black division, Running Late sits on top at 3-0, the only undefeated team in the league. Below him in the black side is Funkin' Groovins and Nose Foam, both at 2-1. Powders coming in at 1-2, along with Pimp Softs, and Miller Time is pulling up the rear end there at 0-3. Then we jump over the blue side, where we have a 4-way tie for first place with Polk High, Black Dongs Matter, Colonel Angus, and Show Me Your TDs all at 2-1. I am right behind them at 1-2, while Schlockhawk sits at 0-3. Now, in Beggars and Bitches, we will start with the Beggars division, where we have a 3-way tie for first place. America, Swollen, and Knuckles Deep all sit at 2-1. And then behind them, the rest of the division sits at 1-2. Scissor Me Timbers, Running Late, and Panty Raid. So really, no one's more than one game out of first place in that division. Then we jump over to Bitches, where Shit Kickers holds first place at 3-0, the only undefeated team in the league. Me and Brad right behind him at 2-1. Followed by Doc Fuzz and Dick Insider, both at 1-2, with Chumbay at 0-3. The only team in Beggars and Bitches yet to secure a victory. Okay, and that was our standings for this week. Now, where you landed in those standings so far has a lot to do with your draft. But as we get deeper into the seasons, your waiver wire pickups become more and more important to stay on top. So we are going to look at the waiver wire winners and losers this week in our segment, Waiver Wire Heroes and Zeros. Waiver wire hero Todd, who picked up Keenan Allen ahead of our week 2 matchup. Allen got in the end zone and ended with 12 fantasy points to win week 2 for him, eking out a 6-point victory against me. Continuing in week 3, he put up a 14-point performance. And now, waiver wire zero Todd. After Tyler Algier busted out for 76 yards and a TD in week 2, Todd scooped him up and slapped him right in the lineup, hoping for a repeat of his Keenan Allen magic. Algier finished the day with 1 carry for 4 yards and 0 points. Waiver wire hero Dale, who picked up Javonte Williams after week 1, although he did pay $25 for him in one league, so I don't know if that counts. But week 2 saw him rack up 97 yards with a 30-yard rushing touchdown. He came back down to earth week 3, but Dallas was playing catch-up most of the game. Williams should be a huge part of Dallas's offense going forward, so as long as he stays healthy, that should be a solid pickup. Waiver wire zero Brad. Week 2, the fantasy gods looked down and decided to smite Brad. Seeing both his quarterbacks hit IR, Brad hit the waiver wire in an act of desperation. He picked up Russell Wilson and Drake May, both quarterbacks coming off big week number 2s. Brad opted for Giants quarterback Wilson, who ended the day with 8 fantasy points, handing me my first victory of the year. Brad could have won with May's 26-point, but instead, he slides to 0-3. Waiver wire hero Jeff O, who developed a fetish week 2 for dudes whose names start with the letter Q, picking up Quinshon Judkins and Quentin Johnson. In the last 2 weeks, Jeff's Q boys combined for 62 points. Owen remains winless, but it's loud and proud moves like that that can get you back into the race. Waiver wire 0, Knuckles Deep, who picked up Jordan Love in week 3 after Green Bay looked like legit Super Bowl contenders the first 2 weeks. Love then ran directly into the Browns defense, only scoring 14 points in week 3. In week 4, he faces a Cowboys defense who is allowing almost 40 points a game to opposing quarterbacks. So that Knuckle Love could turn into a full-on fisting. All right, that is our show, but before we go, let's bring up the betting board where we have me and Chad paying off bets to Ryan, who beat us both in points last week in our respective leagues. So you see Chad paying his bet here, and I will pay mine before I go.
Cheers.
Let's do this. Cheers, Ryan.
Fuck you, Ryan.
Thanks for watching. See you again next week, and as always, good luck, losers.